my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. We're here for Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 19, called Sliding Toward Decision Day. How's everybody doing?
Doing well. How about
Fantastic.
you?
Doing well.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, guys. And what's the weather like where you are? We'll start with Roro. What's the weather like, Roro?
Hot and balmy, like about 85 degrees
Ooh,
and
yeah, that is
humid.
warm. Humid. Okay, okay. Absolutely. That is warm. That is so warm.
Hmm.
What about you, Kimberly? And then I'll give my degrees here.
Yes, 83 degrees in North Carolina and cloudy. So it was a pretty nice day, though. A little wind, too.
Okay, okay. Awesome,
Mhm.
awesome, awesome. And here in Detroit, we've got 72 degrees, and it was just absolutely perfect. Not too hot, not too cold for a change. And also, it wasn't very humid yet. We don't get into the humidity here typically until like June and July. So
Okay.
that was a great blessing, and I was able to get out and get some things done. But guys, we're gonna go right ahead and jump into this whole thing. Happy Monday indeed, Roro. Happy Monday. Yes, yes, yes. So wherever you are, if you want to drop it in the chat, what city or what state you're in and what the temperature and the day was like weather-wise, feel free to do so. But we're gonna go ahead and get started with this couple here because we felt like there was the least amount of things happening with these people here, and that would be Nicole and Chris. Let me take that comment off the board real quick so we can see their names and everything like that. And Roro, what did you observe this week about Nicole and Chris, and what were your observations, and how did you feel about them this week?
Well, I mean, I thought that they looked very nice, especially at the little outdoor dinner. I
Oh
think that
yeah,
that
mm,
Nicole set up. That was really nice. She looked really pretty. I think
she
she heard
did.
me last week when I was saying that she need a fashion consultant. You know,
I
and she
thought that
looked
lavender was beautiful on
it looked
her.
really good. Yeah, it was
Did.
really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And, they talked about living together after D-Day. Um, he thinks it's best to wait. I don't know. I don't understand. Something's something's a little off kilter there with Chris, where he's not
Mm-hmm.
willing to even, you know, tell her how he feels. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
reality is, yes, it's good to wait, but he's not even trying to tell her how he feels, and I'm just a little concerned about what that's going to make her do. She's already so insecure.
Exactly. Very well put. Very well stated. And Kimberly, what did you think about this couple this week? What did you think? What did you think about this episode?
I thought it was pretty good. This was the first time I can see a yes or no from everyone, including Nicole, because the date she was saying something about is she wanted to make sure it was the right decision for
Mm-hmm.
both of them. And I was like, oh, so now are you questioning your decision? Or are you just saying that? But I was like,
Mm.
oh, is it possible that Nicole may say no? She's, I
Mm.
don't know. It just sounded a little off to me, but I thought it was a good idea, to have the private chef and the food look good.
Girl.
So a
Ooh.
nice date. I would love to do something like that.
Yes,
Right.
that was nice. Did you also think that she did a good job with her dress and her attire and makeup? I thought she looked very pretty this episode.
Yeah, yeah, she did. I think so too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, all right. And then there's a little bit more stuff maybe we get into with the other couples as they were chatting. What about did they meet with the experts? I don't even remember their scene with the experts, so we might just go ahead and push on to Gina. To Gina and Clint. Oh my gosh. Hold on a minute. Let me get over there because we're gonna keep this moving. I have an engagement that I have to be at a certain time, so we're gonna keep it moving. Clint and Gina. So Clint and Gina went horseback riding, guys.
Right.
And Clint and Gina sat down for like a little talk, a little chat, a little picnic on the grounds of the horse farm. And Clint is still talking about, which I don't blame him. So to get a clear explanation from his wife, because she did seem to sabotage him and hit him out of left field with that. You are bizarre. Your sense of humor is just crazy and outrageous.
Hmm.
So tell us, Roro, what did you think about when they were talking? Did she do a good job of explaining why she felt that way and why she might have felt alienated by Clint and his sense of humor?
Well, I think it's kind of twofold. I think, I kind of agree with her a little bit because, it comes across to me that Clint doesn't have filters, with his outburst, whatever he's trying to do, like overcompensate for whatever he's not feeling from her. I think that's what happens when they're in these social settings. He kind of overcompensates for whatever's,
Mm,
yeah, like
yeah,
going on between the two of them. So,
right.
but I also feel that she went a little too far with it. I think she's a little vindictive still, about
Mm-hmm.
the he date girls that are a little more slender. He used to date girls a little more slender. I think she's still kind of like um holding on to that almost like a grudge,
Yep, I agree.
so I think she went a
Right.
little bit far with it, but she has a point, but she went a little far with it.
Okay, very good point. And come on
Hmm.
here, Kimberly. Let's tell us what are your thoughts about this date and her conversation, and do you feel like maybe Gina could feel a little alienated by Clint's off the cuff humor?
Yeah, I do. And she spoke on that previously. Also, I was surprised to hear Clint said that he was blindsided by what she told Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper during the segment that they met with them just about his humor. I think it's just that Gina is a little insecure. Maybe, I don't know if it's like maybe
Yes,
when she is in life, where she just can't take it. But I have noticed that men of higher status they tend to act like Clint. It's very common for them to have
really.
that same
So you mean
personality.
so you mean these high value men that supposedly all the women are looking for, they actually end up being kind of like a little bit of arseholes?
Ooh, oops, yes.
What happened? What happened with Roro? I thought she
I
was
don't
here.
know.
Oh, okay, that's all right. Something happened, but don't worry about. I can still hear you, so that's the main thing.
Oh,
But
okay.
is that true, Kimberly? Going back to you, what you were saying?
Yeah, yeah, I feel so. I agree. We can call it that, but they do have a different personality and air about themselves, more confidence and less filters, as Roro said earlier. I noticed.
Ah, that's funny you mentioned that because one of the things I think that Gina also has a problem with Clint, I feel is because I think she resents the fact that he came from a more affluent social economic group as a child than she did. I really
Oh
feel
Oh,
yeah.
that. You know, I
Okay.
I feel like, one of them grew up in the trailer park and one grew up in the suburbs. I don't know.
hmm,
I could be wrong, but that's just what I sense, you know.
yeah,
Hmm.
Oh,
So
there.
she
Hey
yeah.
there,
could,
Monique.
yeah.
Mhm.
So that could be part of her resentment or her, grudge.
Grudge against him.
Mhm.
Yes, I've sensed that from the very beginning. Because even when she tells him about his vocabulary, well, she didn't specifically. Let me backtrack. She didn't say vocabulary, but when she said that he could speak more simply and to be understood, I also took that as she talks about like she had been to college, but I'm not sure if I really believe that. And I'm not saying that you only people that have great vocabularies are people that attended college, but I mean, like Clint is not using words that to me you didn't even use in high school or that you didn't even study for the SAT. So I'm not really sure why she's not understanding what he's saying. I don't really get that.
I didn't get that
Right, or
either.
they editing it out so that we won't hear it like that, so because they don't want to
Hmm.
confuse the viewers, maybe. So it could be an edit.
Well, but I'm saying about the part. But didn't you hear the part when she was telling him? She specifically told him. I think she was talking in front of the experts. She was telling the experts. She said, "Well, one thing that Clint could do, he could talk to be understood rather than to,
Right.
sound so eloquent." And my thinking was, well, when is he talking like really high level, like highbrow?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that conversation from him. If anything, that conversational style was more attributed to Shaq, who is getting his doctoral degree. I think Shaq sometimes talks a little high-handed, but definitely
Hmm.
not Clint. I don't
Yeah, I
see
Right.
haven't
that
heard it. I haven't
because
seen it. That's for sure.
yeah, right. So because she has a moderate vocabulary, how about you just get into that dictionary, girl, and get you some?
Exactly. That's what I would do. I would ask
Yeah,
questions. Let me know, what does that mean, or let me research myself to find out.
that would turn
Right.
me on. Teach me.
Right.
Girl, hey,
Yeah.
what, isn't there a jazz song says "Teach Me Tonight"?
Teach me tonight.
Right,
Tomorrow night
like
too.
woo! I see Kimberly's backup channel all on here, girl. Go with your bad self, okay? You just go right on ahead. But yeah, but so we're talking about them, and then what else was there with Clint and Gina, and then we'll move on to the next couple.
I like the point that Clint made about not having success dating the traditional way. I think that is very important. That's a conversation that I like to have often because a lot of people are down because they're not meeting anyone at the local grocery store. But try something different. Online dating, I'm a huge advocate for that. And like the
Mhm.
show, because I guess it tends to work. For some, this is a way to get yourself out there and meet other people, even if you don't stay married to the person you met on the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, they agreed that they had grown in the short time, the 2 months. Like it would
Yes.
normally take couples about 6 to 8 months to get to where they are. They
Right.
so may hopefully they meant that, and hopefully it's a positive sign. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully it is. I think that's a good point. But they definitely have been through a lot. We will say that the people on this show that the 8 weeks probably does seem more like a 8 month progression.
Hmm.
Hmm. I
Right.
agree.
Right, right. And guys, do we want to talk about? Let's just go ahead and real quick. We'll jump into the next couple because we're gonna. This kind of relates back to Eris. Eris is gonna kind of relate back to the wedding and some information that's important to the Gina Clint situation. But we'll just go ahead and move on to that couple. Okay, so let me get grab that up and put that up. Eris and Jasmine. Okay, guys. So Eris and Jasmine, they their situation. So they went canoeing out on the river, the lake, and they looked like they were having a good time. Did we notice anything about who was sitting in the front captain's seat?
Good old Jasmine leading the
Right.
way.
Leading the way, yeah. I thought that was a little interesting. But they seem to have a good time. This couple seems to be vibing together a little bit better, guys. Would you say?
Well, their
Yes.
conversations sound good. They do sound good. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I have to give them that. They talk
Hmm.
about, the things that they've done. They're doing the work, their assignments, I think, that the experts have given them to do. And hopefully they mean it when they say, they've made progress. Um, so, like I said, it sounds good, but apparently Jasmine is still not convinced that Eris is really meaning what he's saying. So she's a little like, keeping one eye open, and I'm glad for that. She's
Yes.
showing signs of being aware, which I
Right.
was doubting before, but she seems to be noticing what's really happening now.
Right. That's
Hmm.
absolutely true. I agree with that. Great comment. Great comment. And what about you? What were your thoughts about the canoeing and whatnot, Kimberly?
Yeah, nice date. I always enjoy when they're out and about doing activities together outside of the house and even with the group as they do oftentimes. But I noticed that they said they were holding hands and hugging more, and I noticed they were sitting a little closer when they met with Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal, which is definitely great progress. And I hope Jasmine continues to be more reserved, but I just can't see her not going along with it because like she said, in her daily life she's so used to coaching and bringing people up to whatever standard that is set before them. The comment that I made, or the note that I made about the comment Eris made, saying that his social anxiety goes away when he's with Jasmine instead of turning to drinking something. He likes that she is around her and he can lean and depend on her more in social settings. So that was an interesting comment. Good because he's not turning to alcohol or whatever, but
Right.
it's going to put a whole lot of strain, more strain on Jasmine, I feel.
Oh,
A
he's
lot of
such a
pressure.
man child. He's such a man child. What in the world? I must have missed that when I got up for a refreshing beverage. I can't even get it out because some of this has been kind of and guys, thank you for sticking with us certainly because this season, I mean, it's not giving what it should have gave. It's really not. But we know
Right.
we're
Right.
almost at the end, so we're gonna press on through past decision day and into the reunions because I'm thinking we're gonna get some fireworks and some some real juicy tidbits during the reunion because I think some things are gonna have to come out. Don't you think so?
Right.
Right.
Because it's been
Oh
kind of a
yes.
snooze fest.
I'm sorry. What were you saying? I'll turn to you, Roro, so you can get your point out. What were you saying?
Oh, okay. I said, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's been kind of a snooze fest. I almost went to sleep just thinking about it. You know.
And then here our stay tuned review says Jasmine won't hear anything Eris has to say until he's ready to give her that good old oh gosh, I don't know how you got me that time. I didn't even see that pickle at the end. Get out of here.
He set you up.
Kimberly, he said yes, he did. He saved it for the end. Kimberly, what do you think about this thing with Eris and Jasmine?
I can see it going either way, honestly. I just hope that they get the work that they need done on themselves so that it can be a healthy, I guess, relationship, not really a toxic one, which seems to be the way because Eris just used Jasmine as a punching bag, in my opinion, and she's
Yeah.
just willing to take whatever. It's like she won't stand up or speak up like he's complained about in the past, and hopefully she'll turn that corner and start speaking up more because I think Eris would take it well.
Oh yeah, I do. And you know what? A fellow YouTuber I was talking to earlier today, shout out to Sonia G Coaching. She was
Hmm.
saying that she really feels like actually he actually likes that assertive energy from her. He likes
Yeah.
her correcting him, and he probably would do more of what she said. He keeps telling her to speak up, speak up, speak up. Um, oh, yes, yes, yes. That's a good idea. I'm okay. I'm looking over here in the private chat. Good idea, good idea. Yeah. So, I think, guys. So we'll talk about. We'll go ahead and talk about this. What did you guys think about, uh, at the very ending of this episode? That I guess I think Ro was having trouble with her mic, so she dropped out. So she'll be back hopefully soon. But guys, what did you think about, or Kimberly? What did you think
Hmm.
about the scene at the end where here she comes? What did you think about them being in the nightclub and the strange men that came over? Now, a couple of them are kind of cute, and they're trying to
Hmm.
hit on all these four married women. And at the end of the episode, basically, the guy was trying to take Jasmine home with him. With him, what did you think about that?
I wondered, first of all, where did these men come from? And I
Hmm.
felt Jasmine gave them a little too much attention. She was looking very desperate.
Very
And
thirsty. Yes, very
yes,
thirsty.
very thirsty. I think
Mhm.
Kirsten was really the only one who handled herself pretty well. I didn't really
Mhm.
see much of Gina. And then also, Nicole was a little thirsty too. But I
Girl, all the
Nicole
time,
was
all the
silly.
time. She's very silly, and then gonna try to argue with four black men about whether her husband is a beta or not. Honey, we already know your husband is a beta because you wearing the pants.
oh
Right. And
God.
she said that. She said, I got four males in my house, or three males in my house, and I'm the beta. I mean, I'm the alpha,
Right,
so
right, right.
yeah,
She
but then,
started that, so she
yes,
started that with them.
right,
And I
right,
think it was very inappropriate for
Right.
her as a married woman to even entertain any conversation with them beyond a hello, responding back with a hello, and then moving back to her girlfriends and just
Thank
paying
you.
them no, pay them dirt. But she's that kind of silly woman. She's a pick me.
right.
She's a pick me.
Right. And then she was offering too much information about Jasmine. She was offering too much
Oh yeah,
information.
she
It's like,
sure
what are you
did.
doing? I was
Right.
wondering, what are you doing? What are you trying to do? It was as if she
Let me
was
get
trying
back
to
over here.
pimp her to these guys.
Yes,
Girl, don't
exactly.
you think she wasn't? Don't you think she wasn't?
But
Uh-huh.
Jasmine was loving it. She was loving that conversation and she did not
Ooh.
remove herself from it.
Ooh, that's so
Well,
painful though, because they were talking. I could see like maybe a little conversation, but what really struck me was when that girl got so like energized by him pulling out his BMW keys, like excuse me, and she was giggling. I was like, "Really, Jasmine? Like, haven't you been out before? You are 30 plus years old, girl. You should know all the moves at the club by now.
Right. Well,
All the
her
moves."
self-esteem has been beat down to the ground for the past 2 months.
True,
So
but
she was just.
that still doesn't take away from, and for me, I'm sorry for cutting you off,
Mm,
but for me, Roro, that still doesn't take away from the clown energy that women typically get in clubs, like people fronting, people showing you
Right.
keys to their BMW, and then the guy even had the nerve to say that that wasn't his only car. Like, I don't give a f if that's your only car. You got 10 more like it. I don't care. I got a whole husband at home. To me, that should have been her energy. Kirsten
right.
was the only one that gave the correct energy as a married woman.
Yes.
She cut them
Yep.
brothers off right at the knees and said, "I got a husband." And when the guy said his focus was on her, she said, "My focus is on my husband."
Yes, she
Exactly.
did.
You don't
Kudos
Yes,
to
entertain,
she
her.
if
did.
you're a married woman, you don't entertain single men. I'm
Right.
sorry. I mean, unless you plan
Right.
on fooling around. That I have the same amount of energy for these married men out here that are out here just showing their whole butt and not letting women know that they're married. That's thirsty. That's
Right.
thirsty.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly, Nicole, Monique. I'm combining Nicole and Monique saying McCole. Exactly. Nicole was the thirstiest. Absolutely. Like, and you got a whole husband with peen at home. Why are you looking at these black men? Well, we already know why white women like to look at black men. So whatever. But that was just a little bit much. Let's get over, because we only got a few minutes. Let's get over to Shaq and Kirsten. Let me get that one up. Hold on. I see you guys in the comment, but unfortunately, on these, the way it's set up on StreamYard, my figures to put up on the board do not correspond with the comments. So I can't get over to those until I get this up. So Shaquille and Kirsten, guys, what do we think about this woman singing? You can
Woo,
My
go.
ears
child.
went blind.
Hmm?
My ears went blind.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Yes.
Oh, not your ears went black. Guys, can you believe this? Her ears went black. It was terrible. And the funny thing about it, which shows me that I think this girl has got some delusions, and not just the her, she's tone deaf, which I am also, by the way. But she also doesn't see things the way they truly are. Oftentimes, we've seen this throughout these weeks that we've been covering them. Like, you can't hear yourself, but you also can't see yourself sometimes.
Yes.
Um, but what did you think, Kimberly? What did you think about the studio scene?
It was so basic, so middle school. The words that they came up with, it's like they were just throwing anything out there. Her singing was terrible. 0 stars, not recommended. I,
Not
I,
recommended. I
yeah,
know.
I think they could have did a little better, but maybe it's because they're not really connecting, so they can't come up with a song. But yeah, the words just didn't do much for me.
Right, that's true.
Right.
That's true. What do you guys think? So Donna D has put in the comments that Kirsten knows how to play for the cameras. She knew it was a test. Yeah, because that's absolutely, when I saw the four black men in the back of the bar as they moved toward, and you could see they were clearly mic'd, so obviously they spoke into production. Because who comes into a whole bar with a microphone set already on? Okay,
Right. And they were
so
the
Hmm.
only people in there, the only other people in the bar.
there were some other people in the bar, but they were the
I
only
didn't see
four.
them.
I did. I did. There were some other people, but anyway, but they set them up to come up and talk to them. And the point of it is that Kirsten recognized what it was. And
Oh,
I honestly feel, and I'm going to say this, I wouldn't have said this early on in the show. I honestly believe that Kirsten, what she said is what she meant. I really got that sense from
Right.
her.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think everybody played themselves because that's Kirsten. Nicole was Nicole in that moment. She would be the friend that's going out telling everybody's business. And
Yes. Came
Jasmine
back
is
home and
always,
go ahead.
yeah, Jasmine is always thirsty for attention and affection. So she was loving the guy with the car. I think
Yeah.
they
He
played
was loving it. I
themselves
think it
too.
wasn't even for her a thing about him driving a BMW. When he mentioned 740, I don't know if she knew what that was. I recognized it, but the point of it was too, though, like you said, I think it really for her was just somebody lavishing her with attention, someone that
Hmm.
has the same interest with the dog breeding, because she's clearly passionate about that. So I really
Right.
felt that that was what it was. But the point of what I was saying, though, for her to get all giggly when he pulled out his car keys, as if they were as if I'm actually, as a woman, gonna go get in your car with a strange person that I don't even know. No, sir, that's not even about to happen. That's not even
Right.
about whether I'm married or not. That's just not a
Yeah.
that's just a recipe for disaster right there.
Hmm.
Right. So let's see, there was that, and then there was the scene. There's and then the thing about it too. What did you guys think about? And Kimberly, you can go with this one first. What did you guys think about that when the ladies got home? They were all busting Jasmine out about what happened. They were all telling their husband. So if they told their husband gonna go back and tell Eris.
Yes,
Right.
that was bad. That was, I don't know how to feel about that. I wouldn't be the one to run back and tell. So I thought that was kind of tacky for them to run back and tell it, even though I was disappointed in Jasmine. I don't think I would run back and tell my spouse, like you said, because they're gonna go back and tell Eris, like, hey, this guy at the bar was giving your wife all this attention that you're not giving her, and that's gonna make Eris feel some type of way, I believe.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But then again, now for Eris, actually, it might his old weirdo butt. It might turn him on. He might
Yeah.
ask for their number so they can do a threesome.
Oh goodness,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
It
What were you
might.
gonna say, Robo? You got a thought? You got some thoughts about that? And we're gonna wrap it up after you speak.
Well, yeah, and then too, I wonder with the other women doing that, like, how do they really feel about Jasmine? It makes me wonder.
Oh,
Like,
that's a
Mm,
why
good
would they do
point.
that? Do they have some
mm,
kind of resentment towards her for some reason? Why would they
oh,
do that? Like to me, that was a setup. Like,
good point.
Mm,
I don't know.
mm.
Well, Kimberly, actually,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and give you a moment. Go ahead and have your say on that too. What you thought about that, about the women's telling on her, because that wasn't something. I mean, it wasn't like she got in the guy's car. I'm sure. So really, there really
Right.
wasn't much to tell. I would have stopped at if they wanted to just say some guys were, hounding them at the club, but they all, turned them away. I would have maybe said that, but I wouldn't have given any more information. What would you have done, Kimberly?
Right. No, no, I would not have brought it up at all. I was out with the girls. We had a good time at the bar,
Yep.
and we leave it at that. There's no need to dig deeper and go into details and point fingers at who did what. I think it was very tacky.
Very
Yeah.
tacky. Very tacky. But we're going to shimmy and shake. Guys, we want to thank you for being here. I want to thank our moderators, LMV and Monique King, for being here. We appreciate you so much, guys. Please like the video if you're watching live. And of course, if you're watching on the replay, also please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, go over and subscribe to my panelist co host, Kimberly Reviews. She's also here on YouTube, and she follows Married at First Sight also, as well as other shows, and has information about travel and about being living debt free. So go over and check her out, guys. We really appreciate you being here,
Thank you.
guys. You guys all go ahead and say bye. We're getting ready to shimmy and shake on out of here.
All right,
Bye
y'all.
now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.